Henny the bedroom, I be in the zone. Gazing at the walls, depressed, kicking the bone. They take it personal, but only your mind if you could understand what a nigga feeling. 41st till I die, motherfuckers. I'm still breathing you for mud, so we full bread. You ain't my dog, trying to infiltrate the clique issue. I get with you, into that on a later note. We overdose every day to death, we so close. I'm trying to tell these cats, but I let them do their thing. Ready for the bad news till the phone ring. Son is dead now, anyway, over my head. Sick of revenge, son, been son. On your behalf, trying to laugh out the drill gun. Seal guns, play the hum, for real sons. For you motherfucking hoes.
What about now? What about now? Okay. Okay. So, welcome to the stream. A bit earlier this time, since I have an arrangement a bit later after the stream. And also, why is this so small? This needs to be a bit bigger. Having some technical difficulties, but we will get things resolved. Yeah, okay, this is better. Why is the left side now smaller? Try to do this. Okay, now we should be good. So let's first start with the calendar. And if I have any further technical difficulties, please let me know in the chat. But so far, everything seems to be working as intended. So we had the US dollar preliminary GDP quarter on quarter actually had positive numbers. So actual greater than the forecast is good for the currency. Again, we're looking at the whole rate cut story. We're looking at everything that's happening. We're looking at the US economy in terms of GDP, in terms of growth, in terms of inflation. So that is why I'm looking at these numbers. Unemployment claims, okay, pretty healthy stuff. Came in pretty much on the dot, very close to the forecast. So not like the last NFP, which was crazy. These numbers look pretty healthy, which means, well, it actually means that maybe we don't have to cut as much as people think. So if we're getting good GDP data, if we're getting good employment data, then the Fed may not be as happy to cut as we think. And also tomorrow we're getting the core PCE price index, which does measure inflation, I believe. So we will see what is happening with inflation tomorrow. Not a lot of stuff this week. We had a Bank of Canada, we had CPI for the Aussie, which came in much higher than expected. So inflation is going up for the Aussie. Other than that, not the most active week. Next week, though, will be pretty active. So next week we have a lot of stuff. And the most important stuff being non-farm employment change, okay? And the unemployment rate. So basically, next week we do have these three things, which are going to be really, really, really important. What am I looking at? Well, I'm looking to see if we get some weak NFP, weak jobs data. If you open this one here, right there, you can see the previous number came in lower than the forecast, with the revisions that came in much, much lower than the previous number. So the July number, so the last NFP was quite eventful. The last NFP was really bad. Okay. Whoop. Didn't mean to do that. So today, the star of the show, in my humble opinion, is silver. So silver is on my radar. I'm looking to get in buy setups on silver. If you are in the Discord, if you're in the Zentum Discord, or if you are in A1 Trading, you can view my forecasts. So if you want to join the Discord and get my daily forecasts with the whole watch list and what I'm planning to take, what I'm in, what I'm looking to close, what I'm looking to trail, you can do so by going to zentumtrading.com and joining for free. So you can go to here and join the free Discord community. Let me post the link in the chat like this so you can check it out. Silver, why do I like it so much? Well, first, if we look at gold seems to be just flat here. Gold seems to be range bound for the last few weeks or even months. I've been saying that gold is just not doing much. Gold has been very, very tricky in this area. So I was waiting for a nice breakout out of this range, nice break of the resistance. So far we haven't gotten a break. We are overall above the 20 MA right now at least, but until we do breakout, I cannot do much. Also, I'm relying heavily on fundamental analysis. So if you want to take a look at the fundamental analysis, fundamental print for gold and silver, pretty much very bullish. So we're getting a very, very bullish reading for silver and for gold, especially for silver. So if you take a look at this commitment of traders, which is the big institutions, they are long on silver. Retail is short, so that actually gives you a bullish signal. So you want to do the exact same thing as the big players, but you want to do the exact opposite as the retail traders, right? That's the general way to do it. So that is why I like silver so much more than I like gold. But again, the main reason is silver is overall pushing higher. So silver is in a very nice uptrend, while gold, as I just mentioned, is stagnating a bit. Okay. Also, I could list you a lot more reasons. For example, you had Chinese buying of gold, which occurred in 2025. So lots of buying from China, which sort of ceased in the last couple of months, last couple of weeks. And also gold is now pretty expensive. So what's the price of gold? 3,400. Okay, that's a pretty high price. That's a pretty steep price. And investors may be looking for a cheaper alternative for something that hasn't maybe moved yet with such high force. Gold has definitely moved with explosive force, so with a really, really strong momentum, while silver could be a bit better. Silver may not have had such a huge explosion. If you want to look at the metals market, you can also take a look at platinum, for example. I don't know much about platinum. I'm definitely not live trading it, but it may have an opportunity to go to the upside. Hey FX Bashi, how are you doing? Good to have you join the stream. So, hey Marco. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, any chart requests, psychology, strategy, risk management, let me know in the comment section. Or if you have a new nickname for me, FX Bashi is there to collect all the nicknames. So okay. So FX Bashi is good. I'm doing pretty good as well. Just had a power nap. So took a small nap and now I'm back on the stream. So that's why I'm kind of all over the place. I need like 10 minutes to get back into it. But silver is making me feel, let's say, excited about the markets because it's looking pretty good right now. You may say it's in a range here, but I would say it looks okay. It's definitely not in such a huge range as gold. So definitely an opportunity to buy. Sort of, it's overall moving above the 20 MA, which is nice to see as well. As far as entries go, if you're wondering, as I mentioned, so 3,400 may seem a bit expensive to investors. They may be looking for alternatives for some other juicy trades, so they may play the catch-up trade on silver. So what's a catch-up trade for those of you that are maybe not aware? Well, you have the leader and you have the followers. So the leader would be gold, Bitcoin, S&P 500. Let's say, well, for the other ones, I'm not really sure, but these are some good examples. So followers would be silver, Ethereum. You could even say that the Nasdaq is sort of a follower. It's not the main thing. It's kind of a follower to the S&P. But also because it's so powerful in the last few years, it may have actually become a leader. So usually the leader moves first. Okay, so usually the leader moves first and then the follower moves a bit later. So you had a massive explosion on gold. Now it's time for silver. You had a massive, not a massive, but you had a nice uptrend on Bitcoin. Then it was time for Ethereum, right? Look at Ethereum right now, looking very bullish. Very healthy with the moves. So that's pretty good to see that both Ethereum and silver are performing right now and looking pretty interesting. So that is on the radar and that's an added bonus why silver may be a good setup. So your next question is probably gonna be, how do I actually get in, or how would I get in? Well, I'm waiting for a bit more bullish momentum. I know Nick from A1 Trading, so Trader Nick on YouTube, I think he got in here with a pretty tight stop loss like this. So he's already running like 2% or 1% of profits. I personally am looking at one specific thing. That is the huge uptrend or huge candle from Friday Jackson Hole Powell speech. So massive candle right there. Okay. It was kind of noise. It wasn't really based on concrete data. It was just a shift in the tone of Powell. So Powell was hawkish, then his tone turned dovish, and that made the markets overreact, in my opinion. And then you had the fade of the move. So if you're fading moves, if that's your trading style, you could have been selling here to go all the way to, let's say, not the beginning of the range, but somewhere inside of this range. And that's problematic. I kind of wanted to see this momentum follow through. So what I'm worried is if we just range around in this area. I've seen it happen quite a lot of times where you get some sort of a news candle that's massive explosion, and then the markets just range, at least on the 1 hour chart. You know, my specialty was the 1 hour chart in the last few years. I've only switched to multiple time frames in 2025. So I believe it would be smart for me to avoid paying swaps. I'm already getting eaten alive on my Euro GBP buy setup, which is huge swaps. So I don't want to get an extra position where I'm paying swaps every day So that's why, let me wait this out a little bit. Maybe we can get a breakout a bit later. So if we do get a breakout today or tomorrow, I will of course take a setup, I'll take a buy. Stop loss will probably go below the 20 MA on the daily chart. So stop loss will probably go below this level. But if we do decide to range around for this week, maybe even next week, then it may be a bit smart to wait for that breakout. And I could avoid paying some swaps. Okay, I could avoid paying some swaps. I could get some more capital. I could free up some capital. So that's my thinking. Maybe I'm a bit late to the party. We will see. You know, maybe a Nick got in here on the bottom. Maybe that was an awesome entry. I do believe it was. I just have a bit of a different style. That is why everyone trades a bit differently. But in general, silver is a great place. So now you know kind of where my entry will be. But, you know, I'm even considering getting in on a feeler position, sort of a small risk position just to be in. And then getting in with more size a bit later. For now, I haven't done that, but it's something I'm considering. So FX Bashi says, yeah, I'm ready for new nicknames. I wanted to trade New York, but looking tricky. I'm glad you're well rested now. Yep, rested now and ready for the charts. So on higher time frames, swaps is a killer, and low time frames, it's spreads and commissions. Welcome to trading. Absolutely. So there's downsides and upsides to every sort of a trading style. As you mentioned, if someone is not aware, if you're a short-term trader, if your positions last for just a few hours, you're gonna have issues with swaps and commissions. So that's where the broker gets you, swaps and commissions. Now, if you're a swing trader, if you hold positions for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe even a month, well, how does the broker make money? They don't make a lot of money on commissions and spreads, but they kill you on swaps. Okay, so they increase the swaps much more than swaps need to be increased by. And I'm guessing they make some extra money through that. So they get you, with every single trading style that is known. If you're wondering what are swaps, I'm just gonna quickly mention it. With the carry trade scanner, it's the difference between the interest rates between currencies. So for example, if you buy the euro dollar, if you sell the euro dollar, you'll get positive swaps. If you buy, for example, euro yen, you're gonna get positive swaps. So you will receive swaps every single day, or in theory you should, because the brokers add a markup to the swaps. It's not that clean. But in theory, you should receive swaps in some cases. For example, my New Zealand yen position, NZD JPY. My NZD JPY position daily, I got paid positive swaps. I can even find it for you here. NZD JPY, buy, carry direction, interest rate divergence 2.5%. So New Zealand yen looks to be, or actually was positive swaps. So while I was in this position, and it lasted for a month, 62 days, 2 months. So I got some nice positive swaps out of this one, but it's rare. You know, in most cases, you're going to be paying swaps. If you buy silver, if you buy gold, it's positive swaps. It's negative swaps. You pay for swaps, so you pay to hold these positions. Okay, let's see. Isn't swaps like 2 to 5% of the floating balance or something? It depends. It depends. All the calculations depend on your personal broker. How to find that information? Go to your MetaTrader, find a currency pair, go to the details, and there you will see exactly how much swaps you're paying per lot. So per one lot, you're gonna see how much swaps you're paying. If I look at my, let's say, Euro GBP, so I'm opening my MetaTrader. I have the Euro GBP currency pair. I click on information and swaps. So on one lot, swap long is minus 7.9 euros. And swap short is plus 1.4 euros. So you can see the massive difference for swap long and swap short. So I'm going long on Euro GBP, so I'm paying 7.9 euros every single day per one lot of trade size. So yeah, it's a bit different with any sort of a platform that you're using, any sort of broker. Hey Sid, what's up? Yep, all is well. Looking at silver. What are you looking at? Oh my god, if it's per lot, I'm dead. I trade like 5 to 10 to 15 lots. Well, only if you hold it for a long time, and be careful, Wednesday is triple swaps. So on Wednesday, you get screwed three times as much because they account for the weekend on a Wednesday. So on Wednesdays, it's 3 times the amount that you need to pay for swaps or you receive. So if you have a huge position running overnight, you're gonna get screwed. Let's say you took a Euro GBP buy setup and you hold it for 24 hours, you took it on a Wednesday, and you're in let's say 5 lots, it's gonna be pretty painful. It's gonna be pretty painful. Okay. So NZD, you guys wanna see NZD? Sure. Let's first check on the fundamentals for the New Zealand. So let me open up this. Um, 62.5% of the data is coming out more bullish than expected. The New Zealand. Let me just also check. So one thing that I've started doing, I've actually started to kind of analyze the economy, So analyzing the economy and looking at how strong a specific economy is, because a lot of economies right now are facing a stagflation scenario. Okay, stagflation scenario. That is where growth is not doing good, unemployment is going higher, and inflation is going higher. That's called stagflation. That's what's happening to the United Kingdom right now. So for the UK, for the GBP, that's bearish. If you do some research, stagflation scenario is bearish for the underlying currency because people don't want to hold the underlying currency. People don't want to trade with the underlying currency. People just avoid the underlying currency. And that's why the underlying currency loses value. Okay, so let me just run through the comments and then I'll continue with NZD. I know you had the Edge Finder for a while now. How do you like it? Thinking about getting it? So Mr. Hall, it's great. Definitely a game changer for me. It enabled me to start trading a completely new strategy and start looking at multiple different assets, multiple different asset classes. Before I was trading 6 currency pairs. Now with fundamentals, I can get an instant reading, instant confluence on many, many different things. So I would say it's a definite game changer for me. It's something that institutions use. If you've heard about Bloomberg terminal, if you heard about the Reuters terminal, that's what the big guys use. That's basically the Edge Finder. Okay, so you're getting fundamental data, you're getting it aggregated in one chart, giving you a specific reading like this, right? So this is essentially our Bloomberg or Reuters. Why can't we get Bloomberg or Reuters? Because it costs, I think, $25,000 per year. So this is a much more affordable or alternative to those types of terminals. That's why I love the Edge Finder. I know it's still pretty expensive. If you want to help out the channel, you can use my discount code MARKO and you'll get, I think it's 15% off. So you'll get the maximum discount available for that month. Every single month they do some sort of a discount. I think for this month it should be around 15%. So if you're looking to get it, you can even do a trial. So you can do a trial, see how you like it. I fully recommend it. I think it gives you a very good trading edge to add on top of your, let's say, technical analysis or your macroeconomic analysis. Okay. Let's see. Not looking at much at the moment, just in some running positions. Okay, cool. Well, good luck with the positions. Completed the calibration phase. Yes. Completed the calibration phase and the zero, so just slow and steady track record building phase for me over the next few months. Yeah, so definitely if you want, send me your ticker and we can open it up here on stream. If you don't want to do it, or if it's not yet ready, I know it takes some time to get ready, no worries. But if you want, you can put it in the chat. I have my Darwin X, and we can take a look. So also good luck with Darwin X. I had some nice winners. I had a nice increase in my equity curve, but then I took some losses, so now it's not looking as healthy as it was, let's say, a month or 2 months ago. So I was pretty close to getting an allocation, and then I took a loss or two, and then I basically missed the allocation, but part of the game. Bloomberg Terminal is $2K a month, and it's included in the Edge Finder for lifetime. Yeah, basically Edge Finder is a one-time purchase, and you get it for life. While the Bloomberg Terminal is they suck you dry every month for $2,000. Even on 1 minute, I think it's interesting. I can't think of any 1 minute trader who has good knowledge of fundamentals and sentiment. Yeah, I mean, I can't think of any trader that is super profitable long term that doesn't know anything about fundamentals. Like all of the guys, that I've seen, basically they know something about fundamentals. Yes, they're scalping. Yes, they're on the 1 minute or 5 minute charts, but they generally know what the asset is doing long term and what is happening in terms of news events and what is Powell doing, what is the Fed doing, what are other central banks doing, is there an upcoming huge news event, what is Trump doing. So they're very, very aware of the fundamentals, even though they're mostly trading technical analysis. So that's why I try to also tell other traders here as well. If you're a real professional trader, why would you just ignore fundamentals completely, since it gives you an extra edge? It can provide you with some extra knowledge. And I would say sooner or later, every single professional trader starts looking into fundamentals, starts implementing fundamentals into their trading, no matter if he's a swing, scalp, day trader. That's what I've seen. I've seen it in books. I've seen it when I did my internship at a positive equity prop firm. I've seen it with traders online. I've seen it from Brent Donnelly. I've seen it from Vuk Vukovic. I've seen it from Trader Nick. Every single professional trader is basically proficient in fundamentals. Okay. Let me see. JZPN is the ticker. Not much data on there still. Okay, JZPN. Cool. What am I doing? Selling it for Nick. You should get a discount code so you get so you get a commission out of it if you want to promote it. 0.6 TP NZD. But which one? NZD-USD? Are you talking about NZD-USD? Yeah, you probably are. $0.6. Let's see. Yeah, I'm guessing USD. I don't know, man. This seems very flat, maybe even bearish in my opinion. NZD-USD bullish reading on the Edge Finder, okay. I just don't see the technical analysis being very bullish for this trade, right? It's just kind of consistently grinding lower. And NZD, is it really a strong currency right now? I'm not that convinced. Also, let me quickly check NZD-JPY just to see, has it advanced? No, it started going lower. So NZD-USD, not my favorite thing to buy, to be honest. Not my favorite thing to buy right now. I learned so much from Nick, but also a lot of it is common sense. Yeah, it is, but you just need someone to give you the confidence to believe in the edge. I agree, Marco. Even the pairs I trade are all interlinked to each other and DXY, so it's easier to understand the sentiment and the fundamentals. Yeah. Technicals are kind of going lower right here. So JZPN, let me try to find the ticker on the side here. I think it's probably going to be Darwin X0. So let's see. I'm just going to log in on the side. this. Slovenia, JZPN. Okay, there is some data. I just cannot access it. I cannot click the ticker for some reason. Let me show you. If I can put this here. Yeah. See, so JZPN is the ticker. So I have it here. Return for August 2.29. Nice. Max drawdown 6 months minus 2%. Hey, that's great. Great statistics. You're doing pretty well. I think you're not probably yet what's the word? Compatible, or yeah, basically you cannot yet get an allocation. I think you have to be in the top 20% or 25%, but you're getting there. You're pretty close. For some reason, I cannot open the ticker, so it's not working yet. Maybe it will start working. Yeah, rating higher than 68.93% of participants. It's pretty good. That is pretty good. So search bar up top. Here. PN. Let's see. Okay. Okay, cool. JZPN. Is this it? You have 300K? If you can just confirm in the chat. That's the one. Okay. How do you have 300K under management? Is it some sort of a glitch? Or if you just started? Okay. Permanent allocation plus 200K booster. Okay. I get it. Okay. Well, yeah, so far only August 2.25, but you're up. So just continue building the track record. This is not enough for us to do some analysis. I would need at least, let's say, 3 to 6 months. But good luck, and we can catch you back, let's say in August or November. We can see the percentage. We can take a look at the max DD as well. Good luck. So far, looks pretty healthy. The equity curve looks pretty good, but this is too little data. So thanks for that. We're gonna catch you in the upcoming few months. So let me get back to what I was saying. I wanted to take a look at the New Zealand. So let me just show you what I do for the New Zealand. So we saw New Zealand is kind of bullish in terms of the edge finder, in terms of data coming in better than expected. Okay. But if we take another look, economic growth, if we look at the GDP for the New Zealand, is it a steady growth? Not really. Looking kind of mixed, you know, in 2024. Not the best view in 2024. 25 has been better. So kind of mixed. Labor market, unemployment. Let's see the unemployment rate. NZD. Let's take a look. Definitely rising unemployment. Yeah, definitely rising unemployment. We're probably going to have rising inflation as well. CPI, NZD. Rising inflation. Yeah, so rising inflation, all of that is pretty bearish for the New Zealand dollar because it means stagflation. Okay, stagflation. So for me, I'm actually bearish on the New Zealand dollar because of all of these numbers. That's why I wouldn't look to buy NZD right here. I think NZD is in the same boat as GBP. Do we have GBP NZD? Yes, we do. The British pound has actually been a bit more powerful than the New Zealand. So this chart I expect to be flat in the upcoming few months because both countries, both currencies are facing stagflation risks. So permanent allocation, yeah, so just the beginning, absolutely, yeah, good luck. Keep on grinding, keep on following the plan, and make sure to update us as you go. GBP is currently strongest currency according to the Edge Finder. Let me see. Yes, but yeah, actually performing better than expected. That is true in the short term, but overall, long term, I'm expecting a stagflation scenario for the GBP. Okay, so I'm not with the Edge Finder on this one, right? I'm looking at a bit of a longer time frame. So short term, yes, GBP, as you can see, pushed up a bit, and my Euro GBP actually lost some strength. See? So yes, short-term data has come in better than expected, but I'm looking at the overall data. I'm looking at the data for the next few months, maybe even for the whole 2025. And I'm bearish. Do we have JXY? No, but we do have EXY, the Euro currency index. So what is this? This is basically an index that measures the strength of the euro relative to other currencies. You have DXY for the dollar, you have JXY for the yen, okay? So, FX Bashi says, I think after a couple of months we may see the GBP struggling. That's what I'm betting on. So that's my bet. Long euro against the GBP. You know, euro seems to be doing well, or at least seems to be doing okay. If you look at the GDP for the euro, let's take a glance. You know, it's pretty positive. It looks pretty healthy. Nothing is negative here. No negative reports. So that's pretty good. You have the unemployment rate, which is stable for the euro. You know, pretty stable, even falling down. So unemployment doing okay. And you have inflation, which is not that bad. It's trickling lower. You know, it's in a downtrend. So that's pretty good for the euro. That is why Euro GBP for me seems to be a good play. So that's why Edge Finder is good as well, because you get all of this data put into one place, so you can open it in 5 seconds. I did this analysis in, let's say, 1 minute. And if I didn't have the Edge Finder, it would take probably 10 hours for me to collect all of these data points to see, there's a downtrend on the CPI, there's a downtrend on the unemployment, there's a nice growth in the GDP. So that's why the Edge Finder saves you so much time and gives you a tradable edge. Don't bet on it. I live here. So are you in the UK, FX Bashi? You're probably in the UK, right? Euro is in a far better situation. To be honest, yeah. I mean, just by the numbers, just by the raw data, it looks like it is. I think guys will definitely stay in touch. Perhaps take a second look in 6 to 8 months. Yeah, or just by the end of the year, maybe like November, December, we can open it back up. So we'll definitely take another look. You're in the UK. Cool, nice. Okay. UK, not my favorite place, I have to say. I've been to the UK numerous times now, and I don't like the climate. London was not for me. So yeah, not my favorite, not my favorite country. So FX Bashi hates it as well. Okay. That's why I'm selling on the pound, because I hate the UK. No, just kidding. In terms of any other positions, I have my euro dollar position, which is pretty funny. So the euro USD position is pretty funny because, I mean, it's kind of sad. This candle yesterday took me out of my position. So on IC markets, my personal IC markets had a much bigger drop right here. And I got taken out, while on my prop firm accounts, FTMO, Alpha Capital, and DarwinX, I did stay in this trade. So this trade is actually running on all of my accounts except my IC Markets account. So basically, I'm just trailing this position. Trailing this position. If it does continue grinding higher, I will keep moving my stop loss below the swing lows. Hopefully it does go up. Maybe I can take some of the position off. Maybe I can take some profits at this level. Okay. So I'm moving to Croatia with you. Set up a room for me, please. I'll pay you in laughter. Okay, so I have like a basement if you want. So you can have your own room in the basement and everything. It's gonna be pretty cozy here. But I'm not at the seaside, so that may not be the best thing. I'm deep in the country. Deal? Okay, great. So we have a deal. Getting back to it, euro dollar. Hopefully it goes up. My resistance level is here at this high. And as I mentioned, I may take some of the position off, maybe exit the whole position, not sure yet. I'm pretty frustrated that I got taken out on my personal IC markets, but at least I'm in on the bigger accounts. Okay, at least I'm in on the bigger accounts. On the watch list, I currently have, as you can see, 5 things. So NASDAQ, gold we covered, silver we covered, this we covered, this we covered. NASDAQ is kind of the final one, but it's the same story. It's the same story as the past, I would say, I don't know, 3 to 4 months. I'm just looking for a pullback. We did start to get a pullback here. We started to get a pullback right there, and not the biggest one. So, I was waiting for a bit deeper pullback. I was waiting for a retrace of, let's say, 8%, 10%, something like that. 8%, 8% would have been nice. Right now we're overextended. Price is too far away. I would say if you look at the top setups and if you look at the NASDAQ, let's bring back the neutral. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ neutral -4 scores. So commitment of traders looks like institutions are neutral. Retail is bullish. Okay, retail seems to be bullish, which is the exact reason why we should be bearish. Retail loses most of the time. So retail is often wrong. So you want to do the exact opposite compared to the retail traders. Just momentum seems to be dying down a bit. We had Nvidia, which was supposed to be a savior. Nvidia. FX Bashi says, do you trade oil? No, but we're definitely going to take a look at oil. We're going to take a look at oil a bit later. Retail is my liquidity. Yeah, is the saying, your stop loss is my entry or something like that. That's basically what people say online. The gurus say online. The ICT people. So Nvidia, we had earnings, not the best. We beat earnings, okay? We have a dividend as well. So we beat earnings, but we didn't have a huge surprise as expected. So if you look at earnings from the last, let's say 3 to 4 times, each time Nvidia massively beat the forecast. So massively beat the expectations. This time or yesterday, it did beat the forecast but only by a few percent, only by little. So that actually made the market be a bit bearish. That made the market not so ecstatic, not so happy. That is why it's looking a bit flat for Nvidia. And yes, people were expecting Nvidia to push the NASDAQ, to push the S&P 500. Now that it hasn't happened, it's all about the rate cut story for the indices. Will we get a rate cut? Won't we get a rate cut? How many rate cuts in 25? We can look at the Fed watch tool. Will they add fuel to the fire, as they say, because it's already running a bit hot. Inflation in the United States, if we look at inflation, CPI, USD, inflation is trickling higher. Yeah, kind of trickling higher. You can see the target inflation is 2% apparently. I think they switched it up to more to be to the 3%. But inflation kind of going higher. It's not around the 2% level. Not the best scenario. Let me also see if we go back a bit further. Yeah, just we are not there. Let's do 6 years. Were we ever there at the target? I think we need to do years. Let's do 4 years. Let's do it like this. Okay, we don't have that. That data level doesn't matter. So Fed Watch tool, really high chance of a rate cut. 87.2% in September. 2 rate cuts by the end of 2025. Is it the smartest thing to do? No. It's kind of like adding fuel to the fire. As I mentioned, inflation is already above target. The markets are exploding higher. Do we really need rate cuts? Does it seem like the employment data is crushing lower? Well, if we take a look at the unemployment, let's do labor. Let's do USD. I think it's pretty steady. Yeah, pretty steady in 24 and 25. Around the 4.2 mark. So that's okay. That's okay. You don't need to cut, in my opinion at least. You don't need to cut with this sort of data. Let's see NFP. NFP kind of trickling lower. So I would admit that NFP has become sort of on a downward path lately. Okay, so that could warrant a cut, but I just think with inflation that I just showed you, with inflation for the USD, okay, now this is fucked. Come on, how can we reset this? No. Put 2. Yeah, with inflation kind of trickling higher, not the best thing to cut. You would expect for the Fed to wait for us to move to the 2% target, to move to the 2% inflation target and then cut rates. But no, for some reason they're gonna cut rates even with inflation being above target. Maybe it's to cater to Trump, maybe it's to cater to the market, maybe Powell doesn't want to exit his position because his term ends soon. So he maybe wants to go out with a positive note with rate cuts. Everyone loves rate cuts. Everyone hates rate hikes. Okay. So let's see the comments. That's mainly ICT. Okay, that's what we were talking about with the ICT expressions. How long have you been trading? I've been trading since January, like seriously trading since I would say January 21. I would say 2021 was the year that I really started to seriously get into it, seriously monitor the markets. I think I had 5K or 10K in my live account. I bought some prop firm accounts as well. For the whole 2021, I think I made some profits. I made some percentage, but it wasn't anything like glorious. Later on, 22 was pretty good. 23 was great. 24 was pretty good as well. 25 got a new strategy now. So yeah. Markets pricing in 2 cuts already. I think the third one is the mystery. Yeah, I think we could get a massive reaction if we don't get 2 rate cuts. If we get just 1 rate cut, we could see the Nasdaq give me that pullback. We could see the DXY maybe gain some value, because the markets are definitely expecting at least 2 rate cuts. That's the story. That's the story everyone wants to see. Marco broke the edge finder. Looks like I did. 4.5 years. Well done. Keep it going. Yeah, thank you. I will do. I will try to keep up the percentages going every year. So, oil. Let's cover oil. Let's see. US oil. Let's see the edge finder. I'm not sure what to think of US oil. I've never placed a trade on oil. Okay. So I've never traded oil. Right now it's giving me a neutral reading. How it goes, the rule is, this is what I learned from Trader Nick. If the global economies are doing well, if there's a lot of spending, then oil prices go up. Because as economies expand, people buy more stuff. More stuff means trucks, planes, trains need to deliver that stuff, meaning oil is used, oil prices goes up. So demand goes up, price goes up, right? So that's the fundamentals behind oil. Now there's all sorts of other things. You know, there's so many things going into oil. You have geopolitics, which are crazy. Okay, so geopolitics can have a huge impact on oil. You had the Israel and Iran conflict, then it died down here. Then you had some tariff situation. You had some drama between the U.S. and Russia. Then that died down. So oil is is so impacted by geopolitics that I personally tend to leave it alone. I personally tend to be patient for oil, right? And I just think it's a chop fest. If I zoom out on the daily chart, it seems to me like it's a total chop fest, right? Just doesn't look good at all. There's no definite trend. I know Nick likes to trade oil. I know he took a couple of positions that end up actually making some quite nice percentage. I just cannot seem to find an edge here. I think there's better opportunities to trade. What is this? Okay. So there's better opportunities to trade out there. And oil, I think we're going to remain flat in this area. That's just my forecast. I think we're going to just chop around in this general area. Hi Marco, please, what's your thoughts on the yen, especially GBP JPY? So for the yen, see JXY, kind of neutral, if I'm being honest. Looks a bit flat here, although I would expect maybe some upcoming strength. If you look at the BOJ interest rate, they're the only central bank that is actually discussing hiking the interest rate. Okay, hiking the interest rate. So what happens when you raise interest rates? Currency goes up, okay? So Japanese yen could go up because they could hike the rates. They could hike the interest rates. Now, is GBP JPY a good trade? Depends on which direction. What are you looking to do? If you can put it in the chat. Are you looking to sell the GBP JPY? Are you looking to buy the GBP JPY? If we look at the edge finder, I would say it's looking to sell. I think there's a neutral reading actually. Me personally, what would I do in terms of fundamental analysis? I would sell, because for the pound, I'm expecting a stagflation scenario, as I mentioned during this stream. Stagflation is bearish for the GBP. The data is coming out bad growth, bad GDP, rising unemployment, rising inflation. I'm bearish. Yen, I'm kind of bullish, if I'm being honest. Yen rate hikes, possibly. You know, they already started hiking the rate. Maybe they'll hike some more. No one knows. The expectations are that they're going to leave the rate as it is. If we look at the inflation, I think there's maybe rising inflation. Let's see. JPY. Okay, the inflation is actually falling lower, but it's above target. So inflation in Japan is above target. Target should be around 2%. So in order to battle inflation, you want to raise rates. Let's check the unemployment rate. JPY. Let's see. Pretty flat. Okay. Pretty flat here. It looks okay. Pretty healthy stuff. And the GDP growth for the yen, JPY. I mean, it's kind of all over the place. You have in 2024 negative 25. What is this? So this is May negative, then flat. For June, July is positive. Yeah, I think they have some ground to raise the rates. I think they do have some ground to raise the interest rate. If that happens, BOJ or the yen should appreciate. So we could see this happen. fundamentally. Technical analysis, I'm pretty flat. You know, if you look at the trend, it's actually kind of to the upside. So trend looks to be going higher, as you can see here. So steadily kind of climbing higher, but here in the short term being a bit flat. What I am considering is USD JPY. I think more and more we're starting to build a bearish scenario for USD JPY. So to go short USD JPY, let me just check on the Edge Finder, top setups. USD JPY, let's see. Very bearish reading, okay? So very bearish reading, which is nice. One problem though, right now we're at a key level of support. Do I want to be selling into this support? No, not really. But there are a couple of reasons why fundamentally I'm short on the USD yen. USD rate cuts incoming, yen possible hikes. You have also a lot of other little reasons here and there. But the problem is the technicals. I think we're a bit too flat right now. I think we are at a level of support. Brent Donnelly did a very nice article about USD JPY. He just released it today. I'm subscribed to his newsletter. He does a daily breakdown of the markets. So if you want, definitely check him out. So it's Brent Donnelly, Spectra Markets. And I do get a lot of ideas from his market analysis. I do have a lot of trade ideas that are based on his analysis of the markets because he's, again, a veteran trader, and it's just so interesting to read what he has to say. Very, very interesting stuff. If you're interested in fundamentals, definitely give that a look. He also has a free Friday post. He gives a free market analysis post on Friday, so you can see what he's doing, his market analysis, for free every Friday. Okay. So FX Bashi, I started April 2024, but didn't trade a few months like summer and the elections and the inauguration month. Worked out very well for me, to be honest. Okay, cool. BOJ is doing rate hikes. I believe they are open to more hikes. You know, they're definitely open to it. That's what I got from the overall situation, from the speech that the main guy at the BOJ had. He had a speech last week on Friday, I believe. I think his name is Ueda, like this. That's the guy? I think so. Yusuf says, I trade 15 minute and it's been very flat recently, so I wanted to ask for your opinion on the higher timeframes. Well, I'm flat, if I'm being honest. And it looks flat on the daily as well. Just the volatility has been sucked out of it. That's why what you can see from professional traders, all of them trade all sorts of different things. Like I haven't seen a professional trader that has been in the markets for more than 5 to 10 years that trades only one or two assets. I personally haven't seen it. Like all of the professional traders that I've seen, they trade everything that they can get their hands on if they believe they have a trading edge. Like Brent Donnelly, okay, Vuk Vukovic actually trades only US equities. So he would be an example of specializing in the US equities. Sorry, so I stand corrected. But I think you can have a better trading edge, and while something is being flat, you can look at silver. You can look at the Nasdaq. You can look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, oil, all sorts of stuff. So something is always going to be flat and something is always going to be moving. So if you stay flexible, if you're a jack of all trades, you can look at different assets, different instruments, and still make money in many different market conditions. That's why I like looking at so many different things, because at any point in the year, something is moving. For us trend traders, something is moving. Thanks for the recommendation. I'll definitely check it out. No worries. That's what I mean when I'm now becoming bullish on the JXY. Ueda-san. I know a little Japanese. Okay, cool. So it's Ueda-san. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty cool name. That would be about it. If you guys have any last minute chart requests or you want me to take a look at something or you have any questions, let me know. I'm just gonna plug in. Let me quickly also see if we went through everything. Yes, we covered everything here. Currencies for my technical strategy, they just all seem to be a bit flat right now. So I cannot really get a trading edge on these currencies. This is a different strategy, just 6 currency pairs, 1 hour time frame, only technical analysis, no news, no indicators. Seems to be very flat right now, unfortunately. Omar says, what pairs are you most interested in trading? So right now, on my watch list, NASDAQ, looking to buy on pullbacks. Gold, looking to buy if it breaks the 3,450 level. Silver, looking for entries today or tomorrow if we get a bit more bullish price action. So I'm most likely going to take a trade this week or the next week. Like, this is looking very good. So this is my favorite one. Euro dollar, I'm in on my prop firm accounts. Euro GBP, I'm in on all of my accounts. Buy. Okay, that's my watch list. That's my main watch list here. That's what I'm looking to buy. I'm not looking to sell anything right now. If a risk-off environment happens, then what you can do is you can buy gold. You don't have to sell the stock market. You can just buy gold. You don't have to be a seller at any point in time, right? Because selling stuff that goes up over time is not the smartest thing to do. I think you actually have a much better edge if you want to sell the NASDAQ, if you expect the risk-off environment. You have a better edge of just buying gold, right? I would say so. All right, thank you. No worries, Omar. So if you guys want to check out this fundamental strategy, we have released a course at Zentum Trading. So there's a full course on this strategy at Zentum Trading. You can watch part 1 of the course for free on my YouTube channel. It is the last video that I posted. You can even join us for free. So full course, you can learn it in Zentum Trading. If you want to get updates on when I'm going to be live streaming, you can follow me at Marcos Trading Journey on Instagram. Okay, that's my Instagram handle. Give me a follow. All of the updates go there. So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you, FX Bashi, Yusuf, Omar for the question, JSID for all of the questions, and see you guys next week, probably on Thursday. You can follow me on Instagram for all of the updates. Good luck, basically. Good luck with trading. Kind of low volatility, kind of a tough market to trade. If you look at the volatility of the S&P, it's just going lower. That's not a market condition where there's a lot of opportunities. So the opportunities right now are scarce, but it can flip in a minute. So thank you. See you.